Testing 1, 2, 3. What's up? It's your boy Senor Almond Butter. I prefer not to show my face. I'm a shy guy, so whatever. I mean, in public, I'm not that shy, but I'm definitely very camera shy and also somewhat of a harsh critic of myself on video or on audio. But I think all the best people are a little hard on themselves, you know? I always hear my friends and family members who are parents now say, like, oh, I'm always worried I'm not a good enough parent. I'm always worried I'm not doing a good enough job. And even though I don't have kids, I definitely think that's what makes a great parent, is somebody who feels like they're not good enough. It's weird, right? I just started a master's program, I want to say about a month ago. So, the road so far, how did I get here? I'm in my master's program. I'm 35 years old. Usually people in their master's programs are in their mid-20s, maybe early 30s. I'm in my mid-30s doing my master's program. I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out of university during COVID for a period of time to get my mind right, because life be lifing. In 2018, I started my university undergrad program. After being a high school dropout, I went back and got my GED. Ended up getting into university after community college, and yeah. I can't say enough that 2018 was one of the most stressful times in my life, and I had no idea what was coming after. So, 2018 happens. I initiate what is basically a divorce, and it carries on into 2019. I was not being a good partner. I had just gotten into university and I started thinking really highly of myself. Self-respect can be one hell of a drug. Self-respect is something. And sometimes it changes for the worse. That's what happened with me. I got into school, and I guess because I had seen like the Hollywood idea of what school was, university, I'm speaking specifically, the Hollywood idea of what university was like in the 2000s, I thought, well, this is my one chance to enjoy my life. And I was not faithful to my partner. And when I realized I was going down the wrong direction, I thought it would be a good idea for me to reevaluate my entire life, because I wasn't happy in my situation. I was breaking promises. I was looking for ways to cheat on my partner, even though thank God I wasn't successful. In this rise to success, after falling through the cracks multiple times in life and refusing to let myself be torn apart, I've constantly risen up through the cracks, and because of this, I became arrogant in myself. 2 years before I started university, I was very active in my community college. I was an honors student, was high performing, high achieving, while my partner was basically the biggest support I had. And even though my partner was also struggling, we didn't have a perfect relationship or marriage. I know this is something that is weird to go on about. I don't really like talking, but I wanted to share this with you all because around 2018 is when I realized that I wasn't living right. I wasn't living in accordance or in harmony with myself, right? I wasn't living in harmony with the person that I saw myself becoming in the future, and also the person that I was in that moment. And a lot of that was because of wanting to be approved of, or wanting to live a rock star life, wanting to do the things that I saw people doing on television or heard about on social media or from friends. And when I saw how others were just living their lives according to whatever they wanted, I said, I want to do some of that. I've been working so hard. I've been a high achieving honor student. If you are going through that, please know that you can get help. You don't have to do this by yourself. You don't have to do it the way that I did, closeting all of my frustration and my grief with being a man and trying to figure out what being a man is like today when I was raised by boomers and various other people. I had a lot of great adults around me growing up. I had no reason to want to live a degenerate life, and yet I was going around doing whatever my friends wanted to do, doing whatever people said was happening, and people pleasing is another drug. It's one hell of a drug. One hell of a drug, I have to say that. All of this is to say, the road so far, how did I get here today? I realized in 2018 that I was living incorrectly, and I started a divorce based on the fact that I was missing something in myself. And fast forward from 2018 to today, in that time I have found a whole relationship with my Creator, my God. Now, this is a big topic that people make a fuss about these days. When I say my Creator, my God, I'm talking about the God of the Holy Bible. I, myself, have always asked, what would Jesus do? Even in all of my agnosticism and being lost in life. Eventually, in 2019, I finally realized that I was always thinking about my faith and how to be a better person, even if I wasn't a Christian, even if I wasn't quite what somebody would say is a healthy churchgoer. Ever since I wanted to make my life more about my relationship with God and Christianity, and not just God and Christianity, but with all people, regardless of their faith. Because the Bible says to shout for joy at the believers and to leave the non-believers alone. It doesn't really literally say that in the biblical text, but that's what you take away from your reading of the Bible as you study it. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have curiosities. But I want to clarify right now that starting from the year 2024, I have made a full 180 in my entire life, how I live and how I see myself. And a lot of this I would say, has to be the biggest mystery I've ever experienced in life. As someone who has done drugs and been out on the streets, and that's what led me to realize that I needed to change instead of living a lie. I told myself that my partner deserved better. Now, this isn't a whole white knight argument. This isn't a whole thing where I'm just going to sit here and talk about, oh yeah, well, I've done all of this and this is the road so far and how did I get here? Because I've been a literal piece of shit. Now, I'm not being a preacher here. I'm not talking about picking a side or trying to be a perfect person. I just want to tell you that it's okay to make mistakes. And you don't have to stop there. I realized in 2024 that I have been a lot worse of a person than I have actually led myself to believe most of my life. And that was quite a burden to recognize, because I was in a career within relationship health, sexual health, violence prevention, abuse prevention, right? I studied psychology. I studied Title IX law. I myself have been a man who have made mistakes, and I have been around different people of all walks of life, and I have realized I have wanted the things, I have chased the things that have only caused me and other people pain, even in trying to be a good person. And yes, I did work in Title IX, relationship abuse prevention. I've worked in Office of Population Affairs. I've worked in higher education, in federal government, in confidential areas where I will not speak of specifically. And I know it sounds like I'm rambling right now, so before I get on this ramble, I will tell you that these children today, children who spent 3 years in lockdown, need adults like us out there. So that's why in 2024, I decided to leave that career, to leave that life, because the career in sexual health, relationship abuse prevention, the field of healthcare, higher education, all of these fields that contribute to a better world can put a lot of pressure on the person. And when you realize that even if you have a good heart, you will make mistakes, then the question becomes about faith. So I left the job to pursue my faith, to pursue a deeper relationship with my God, the God of the Holy Bible. It's been a year since 2024 and I left that career in healthcare education, higher education, K through 12 education, relationship dating prevention, all of this stuff. Office of Population Affairs, which is basically teen pregnancy prevention. And those levels of government, those levels of working with the working class of people and public service, there are types of individuals that I will not even spend my time talking about because they aren't worth the attention. They aren't worth even wasting any further breath. Where you stand, that is up to you. I have stood between the lines of what I thought was right and wrong from my own self-righteous understanding for long enough to just say, enough. And I'm talking about this for anyone out there who is struggling with quitting nasty habits like promiscuity, or, sleeping around. If that's what you're doing, that's fine. But if you want to change, or if you have this part of yourself that's unsatisfied with how you've been living, this is your invitation. I struggled for many years with my own desires to be with women, to have the high body count, because my partner had a high body count and I thought that I had to compensate as a man so that I didn't feel smaller. I could not respect myself because I was not happy with who I was based on how I was comparing myself to other people. And I will tell you, the evil of this world is in comparing yourself to anyone. But the road so far has led me here. So if you're going through a breakup, if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through a hard time, if you found out someone's been cheating on you, if you found out that you're tired of being the cheater yourself, whatever you're going through, you can get help. There are people out there in the world who will help. But you have to be willing. I hope you like these mechs, Gundams. Taking up hobbies has helped me overcome some of this PTSD that you might experience if you work in a healthcare setting or in a caregiving setting. It's called compassion fatigue. I hope you've enjoyed the content. I hope you like and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, any suggestions, any tips for me, any feedback, anything you want to say, I'm more than happy to read in the comments. Some things I might not respond to. Please don't take that personal. It's just because I don't know what to say sometimes. And also, I hope you enjoy the music on the channel. That's what this channel is all about. But I wanted to make this as a confession for anyone who would like to know more about Senor Almond Butter.